random internet speculation of a combined DC and Marvel universe. The Daily Bugle goes under and is acquired by the Daily Planet. Perry White is the editor-in-chief and J. Jonah Jameson is the sub-editor. He keeps trying to get Clark Kent fired for always being late, while praising Superman's activities. Clark and Peter have no idea that they're Superman and Spider-Man, respectively. The Green Lantern Corps and the Nova Corps are rival peacekeeping organizations often at each other's throats. Jonathan Kent served in Captain America's unit during the Second World War, and Superman holds great respect and admiration for the captain. Captain America crash-landed in Themyscira instead of Steve Trevor and fell in love with Hippolyta during the Second World War. Quicksilver is the only active speedster without access to the Speed Force, and that really angers him. The Flash ends up dating the Scarlet Witch, and a jealous and despondent Quicksilver is manipulated by Professor Zoom into attacking the Flash. Although Quicksilver sees the error of his ways and sacrifices himself to save the Flash, the Scarlet Witch blames him for Quicksilver's death and they break up on bad terms. Lex Luthor and Doctor Doom are pen pals. Each letter is accompanied by an assassin sent to eliminate the receiver. Oliver Queen and Tony Stark are the playboys of this combined universe. Publicly, they both have respect for one another. Privately, they sincerely hate each other. Hal Jordan had a one-night stand with the She-Hulk, and it went horrible for all parties involved, including several city blocks of Coast City. Aquaman and Namor are rulers of rival city-states in the lost continent of Atlantis, and both view themselves as the rightful heir to the throne. Aquaman is the one true king. Their rivalry gets even more bitter when Namor dismisses Mera. Black Manta is still Aquaman's nemesis, but he has no interest in Namor at all. Mutants are not persecuted because people are generally more accepting of superpower beings, and Superman advocates for their rights. Hank Henshaw attempted to reproduce the experiment that gave the Fantastic Four their powers, but only turns himself and his family into deformed monsters. He blames the Fantastic Four for his condition and becomes their enemy, the Super Cyborg. Deathstroke is the result of a failed attempt to reproduce the Super Soldier program in Vietnam and has a rivalry with Captain America. He also served with Frank Castle, and the two of them reunite years later, now on opposite sides, to fight, while often reminiscing about the horrors of the war. Dr. Will Magnus corroborated on Ultron's creation, and Ultron regards the Metal Men as his siblings. Wolverine and Vandal Savage cross paths throughout history and become rivals. Wolverine also fought against Ra's al Ghul and was a member of the League of Assassins. Batman is invited to join the Illuminati but declines, and afterwards begins to monitor the group. The Green Lantern Corps is meant to locate uninhabitable planets for Galactic to consume and evacuate inhabited planets if he can't control his hunger, as the Guardians know that he is necessary for the universe's survival. The Joker has a bitter rivalry with Spider-Man, whom he considers to be unfunny, and even becomes angrier towards him when Spider-Man naturally has a knack for humor and jokes, and even Harley Quinn flirts with Spider-Man on occasion. Green Arrow is a massive mutant apologist, but even they can't stand him. Flash Thompson is an avid member of the Flash fan club. Plastic Man once spent an entire month trying to get Black Bolt to laugh. Black Bolt later admitted that he was the closest anyone ever got to making him break his vow of silence. Dr. Doom receives a green power ring, but refuses to serve in the Green Lantern Corps and instead reverse engineers the ring and adds its technology to his armor, becoming even more powerful and deadly. In his early years, Batman was hunted by Blade, whom he believed to be a vampire. He later had to protect Man-Bat from Blade as well. Ben Grimm, Carol Ferris, and Hal Jordan all served together in the United States Air Force. James Rhodes and Jon Stewart served together in the Marines. Psycho Pirate is the only character who realizes that the DC and Marvel universes have been fused together and at one time was separate. The Earth 3 Avengers are Emperor America, counterpart of Captain America, Iron Monarch, counterpart of Iron Man, Lightspeed, counterpart of Quicksilver, Crimson Shroud, counterpart of the Scarlet Witch, Swarm, counterpart of Spider-Man, Ravager, counterpart of Wolverine. Billy Bastion is also able to lift Thor's hammer, but Captain Marvel is not. During a team-up, the Enchantress casts a spell of silence on Billy, preventing him from transforming. Meanwhile, Black Adam is fighting against whoever is holding the hammer, either Thor or Beta Ray Bill. Billy lifts it and uses it as a lightning rod to break through her spell and becomes Captain Marvel once more. Thanos has an intense hatred of the Black Lantern Corps. He probably views it as a blasphemy of the highest order against Lady Death. Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne are party and drinking buddies. Tony struggles to pretend that he isn't drunk, while Bruce, on the other hand, struggles to pretend that he's wasted. The Punisher works for the Suicide Squad, since that's the way he can get access to missions where he can quote-unquote accidentally get rid of criminals on his personal hit list. Amanda Walker is fully aware of this, but she's perfectly fine with it. Namor and Aquaman rule over the northern and southern hemisphere oceans. They respect each other's work, so they work together to keep the oceans safe. Hence, because of this, they can easily take over the planet with their combined armies if they actually wanted to do this. Once every year, Mr. Mxyzptlk and the Impossible Man challenge each other to pull a bigger prank than the year before. Most cosmic events are the result of their mostly harmless but yet planetary annoying schemes, and it's usually up to the combined efforts of Mr. Fantastic and Superman to stop them. Galactus and the Anti-Monitor view each other as natural forces of the universe. Both can destroy, but at the same time both are neutral. Both respect and stay away from each other at all times. Thanos and Darkseid are currently engaged in a nerves war. Darkseid refuses to do something that could endanger his own life, but Thanos is looking for the day when Darkseid could kill him and send him with his beloved death. Currently, they study each other, trying to see the best way to mess with the rivals' plans. Spider-Man and Blue Beetle, most people say Ted Kord, are best friends, and many adventures and stories have been shared among the both of them. The Hulk and Doomsday fought each other to a standstill. It had to take cosmic forces to break up the fight, because under normal circumstances, the Hulk and Doomsday are the pinnacle of mortal strength. Darkseid uses the Omega Sanction on Thanos, forcing him to live 1,000 lifetimes, each of which coming to the brink of death, and forcing him to rebirth and relive it all over again, constantly denying him the sweet embrace of Lady Death. The Infinity Crisis begins. Captain America leads a massive raid on Berlin with the Howling Commandos, Creature Commandos, Haunted Tank, Rifle Brigade, Blackhawks to retrieve the Spear of Destiny and make a Dr. Fate, Alan Scott, Captain Britain, Jay Garrick-led D-Day begin.